the public aware of this growing problem so they can assist. AT&T is doing their part. They're out trying to make repairs as quickly as possible, but then there's that demon, that enemy, that criminal that's coming behind them night after night, robbing us of this copper that is so irresponsibly being taken from us. We have had a couple of meetings. We've had two recently, the last one as late as last week. And from that group who attended that meeting on last week, we created a committee, a task force to address this problem. So right now we have about 9 people on that task force, and we're going to ask those of you who are here, who are willing to serve and be a part of that effort, to please sign up before you go. When we had our meeting on last week, we had many stakeholders in the room to help us bring awareness to this problem. Some of them are still coming in as we speak. We had representation from the police department, from AT&T, from the prosecuting attorney's office, from wastewater and other departments across the city. But not only that, I was so happy to see that we had so many residents here who were here to share, their concerns and their experiences with this loss of service. This evening, we are going to have with us AT&T representative Ronnie Gedman, and he's going to talk to us about what AT&T is experiencing and what they're doing as far as this problem is concerned. We have Council Member Bruce Lockett, who will be with us, along with Council Member Glenn Brown. I think Councilmember Brown may want words, and we may let him go early on because he has to go to another event for his grandbaby. So his grandbabies are the most important people in his life. Okay. So we had the airport representative here because our airport was hit harder. Airport and I think Shannon Road and Ohio Street. Those were the heaviest hit areas in this city for a long time. The airport was almost paralyzed during this time. So thankfully we can report today that most of that cable has been put underground. And that's a good positive. And that's what AT&T will be doing as they move forward. But that's something that cannot be done overnight. So we're going to be looking for citizens throughout the community to help us. Let us know if they hear strange noises, or if they see strange activity, or if they see people who they are not sure are the authentic AT&T workers, employees. So we'll also hear from some citizens in the community. Then we'll have questions and answers. Right now I'm going to ask Mr. Dedman if he'll come to the podium and address us with what AT&T is doing, what AT&T is experiencing at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everyone? I was very glad Saturday morning when I picked up the newspaper and read it and saw that 2 people had been arrested in Bluff. So I've worked for AT&T for 45 years plus. And I can tell you that probably half of that time I have spent on behalf of AT&T my time dealing with this issue of cable theft, okay? But I can also tell you that the problems have existed in Northeast Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, Little Rock, Southeast Arkansas, but never to the level that we're dealing with this copper theft issue here in Pine Bluff. I think here in Pine Bluff it's reached epidemic proportion for us. These thefts and vandalism of communications infrastructure is a serious matter that affects the public safety, as you heard from the mayor, and other parts of the community at large, as well as impacting small businesses. When you hear of cable theft, you might think generally that, well, they go out and they cut a piece of cable, AT&T comes behind them and replaces that little 6-8 foot of cable, and you're back in business. Well, that's not how it works. Just for the purpose of illustration, I brought this with me. This is what they're after, something like this. This is a 300 pair cable, 300 customers are served out of this, a cable this size. So these people go out and they cut a section like this or a little bit longer. They take it somewhere and they burn it. They burn off this outer cover, and they burn off this color, this different color wiring here, protection, to get to the copper. And that's what they're after. They're after the copper. Burn it off, they take it somewhere and sell it and get whatever they get for it. And then AT&T is left with, Mayor, trying to repair that damaged area of cable that they have cut. And we don't always